There are places in the galaxy where law fades into suggestion and survival becomes currency. Nexus Station Cantina was one of those places. A dim, smoke-choked hole carved into the heart of a trade hub, it attracted the worst the stars had to offer: smugglers, pirates, hired killers, and things that didn't bother learning the word mercy. 40 species drank there, not to relax, but to forget. The lighting was low by design. Identities mattered less when everyone was dangerous. The floor bore stains that no sanitation protocol could erase. This was a place where weakness didn't last long. That night, a human walked in. Cain Murphy didn't look like a threat. He wore simple spacer clothes, hands rough from cargo work, face weathered by long hauls through frontier routes. To most eyes, he was just another freighter pilot looking for a drink after weeks alone in the void. But those who knew how to read danger noticed his eyes, steady, alert, always moving. Cain took a seat at the bar and ordered quietly. The trouble began the way it always did, mockery disguised as conversation. A table of Zephyrian smugglers began commenting loudly, their crystalline voices slicing through the noise. They laughed at the primitive ape, walking upright as if it belonged among real civilizations. Cain didn't respond. He sipped his drink, posture loose, attention sharp. He watched reflections in metal, measured distances, tracked movement without turning his head. Strength isn't just muscle, he murmured to the bartender, a scarred Vortak who'd seen too many fights end badly. It's mind and heart. That was when the Carey noticed him. The Carey pirates were apex predators, armored hides, crushing strength, claws that could rip through steel. They moved as a pack, surrounding Cain with confidence earned from a lifetime of killing weaker beings. "You're in the wrong place, human," their leader growled. Cain turned slowly on the stool. His eyes moved over them, calm and calculating, mapping what was about to happen. "One human can change 1,000 minds," he said quietly. They laughed. The Carey leader struck first. It was meant to be instant, a blur of claws aimed at where Cain's head had been a fraction of a second earlier. Against most species, it would have been fatal. Cain wasn't there. He moved with controlled efficiency, slipping past the strike as if he'd already seen it coming. Footwork turned reach into weakness. Balance replaced brute force. His counterattack wasn't flashy, just precise. 2 fingers slammed into a nerve cluster no off-world combat manual documented. The Carey leader collapsed. The cantina froze. "Fear isn't given," Cain said calmly, standing now. "It's earned." Chaos erupted. More attackers rushed in, Zephyrians, Vortak brawlers, mercenaries drawn by pride and opportunity. What followed wasn't a brawl. It was a demonstration. Cain read micro-expressions, predicted movement, used leverage and physics where others relied on strength. A broken bottle became a chemical weapon. A table leg became a lever. An armored berserker fell when its toxin resistance was neutralized with basic chemistry. Every advantage the aliens believed they had was dismantled. "This isn't a bar fight," whispered Dr. Yither, a xenobiologist watching in stunned silence. "It's a warning." When station security arrived, armed, armored, confident, they expected to subdue a drunk human. Instead, they faced someone who treated their weapons like puzzles. Energy rifles were disabled with bar supplies. A security droid turned on its own targeting system. "A fight is more than fists," Cain said. "It's will." By the time it ended, more than 30 opponents lay defeated. And Cain helped the wounded. Mercy, offered freely, confused the predators more than the violence ever could. The footage spread faster than any official report ever could. Security recordings from Nexus Station became required viewing across the galaxy. Military analysts slowed it frame by frame. Psychologists rewrote assumptions. Criminal syndicates took notes. The shock wasn't that Cain won. It was that he wasn't special. Investigators confirmed it quickly: Cain Murphy wasn't military, enhanced, or trained by secret programs. He was a cargo hauler who survived the frontier because adaptability was the price of living there. They called us primitive, Cain told peace officers. They forgot one thing. Humans refuse to lose. Captain Sarah Chun filed the official report. We adapt. We overcome. And we remember. That frightened the galaxy more than any weapon. Admirals spoke in closed chambers. Scientists debated. One conclusion echoed everywhere: the illusion of human weakness had shattered. Cain disappeared back into the shipping lanes, uninterested in fame. But the legend remained. The cantina was rebuilt, stronger walls, heavier security, but it was never the same. Patrons walked carefully, aware of where they stood. A plaque marked the spot. One bar. One fight. One human. And the galaxy learned something vital that night. Historians would later call it the spark. Cain's fight wasn't unique, it was representative. Frontier humans shared the same traits: observation, endurance, refusal to surrender. The galaxy fears humans, Cain said in his final interview, not because of our weapons, but because we don't break. That truth rewrote policy, diplomacy, and criminal behavior. Human ships were no longer ignored. Human crews were no longer mocked. They were watched. The bartender still tells the story to new arrivals, pointing at the plaque. That's where they learned, he says. Humans aren't weak. They were apex predators all along. They just didn't roar.